striking and heartwarming is Stray. I watched it with my cat. And now I'm watching this documentary and it's like, you are so lucky to have me. But in this case, I mean, I wanted Zeytin. I wanted the protagonist in this film. What is of this beautiful girl? Do you know?
Yeah, so the last time I filmed with her was in 2019 during a pickup shoot, which I was really amazed that after a year and a half of filming, we were still able to find her in this huge city of millions of people, this one single stray dog, because she tends to go to the same cafes, she has her usual haunts. And when the pandemic happened, I was in Los Angeles and I was pretty worried about what was happening to all the stray animals in the film because if everyone's in lockdown, who's feeding them? But what happened was that the government in Turkey did make an effort to make sure that a lot of the stray animals were fed by leaving out kibble on the streets, and people would also volunteer to feed the stray animals on a daily level, which was something that I was really struck by when I was filming in Turkey, that people cared so much about their stray animal populations and really saw them as sort of fellow citizens that they were responsible for. So Zeytin is fine, I believe. Zeynep Koperlu, my Istanbul-based co-producer, she sometimes will send me pictures of Zeytin whenever she runs across Zeytin in Taksim Square snoozing at night or during the day. So I believe she's fine and surviving. They're really smart animals and they know the city really well. And people are also there.
It's unbelievable because in this film, it does show that people are actually kind of friendly. Like they'll be walking by and just vaguely just
Yeah.
these dogs. So in a way, they're sort of adopted from everybody. Would that make sense?
Yeah, I think what was really striking to me, coming from a culture where, if you have your relationship with dogs is usually defined by whether you own them or not, or if your friends have them. And here, the dogs truly are communally owned and taken care of, but the dogs get to live life on their own terms. There's laws that protect them there, which is part of what drew me to Turkey. The government is not allowed to euthanize or even hold in captivity any healthy stray dog, which if you imagine passing those laws in America, our streets would be filled with dogs. And I really want the film to function as a way to make you question, like, why don't we allow dogs to roam freely when they can survive with us peacefully, and if people, support them and feed them on a daily basis. So I really want the film to sort of wake people up to a different way of relating to dogs and cats.
Yes. And you know what? It was interesting to see how much protection these dogs have out there and the freedom that, I mean, you have these kids from Syria, immigrants living on the streets. They don't have the same luxury. The irony.
Yeah, I mean, I do see some parallels. It wasn't intentional because Zeytin is the one who led us to the young Syrian men because of her relationship with them. But I do think even though there isn't enough infrastructure to support refugees in Turkey, the fact that they're allowed in to find in Turkey a safe haven, even if they're not, fully materially supported, I see parallels in a culture that allows people to take shelter in their country, outsiders, and also one that allows stray dogs and stray cats to thrive. Um, yeah, I think it's really complicated, but for me, I feel like in all the scenes, even as the young men are being kicked out of evicted out of abandoned buildings, there is some degree of warmth there, even if it's misguided or misplaced in the way that people are talking to them or
Yeah.
treating them.
The entire time I was watching, I was like, I mean, as a director for you, I mean, how do you direct? I mean, you can't direct these animals. I mean, I read somewhere where you said you quickly learned that it's impossible to plan or schedule the lives of a stray subject. Um, how did you end up finding a pattern to follow these creatures?
Yeah.
I mean, how was it?
I mean, that's what I loved about making this film. It was a surrendering of my own human desires and will about story, and really letting a dog like Zeytin lead me through the city and dictate what the film was going to be about. And we used GPS trackers that were provided to us by Tractive GPS, which are these GPS trackers that you can attach to a collar of a dog, and it attaches to your phone, and you can kind of see where the dog is at all times. And so at the end of a shooting day, we would put these collars on, and the next morning we'd be able to find them again after seeing sort of the range that they had traveled overnight, which was always really fascinating. And then a lot of times it was waiting for the dogs to do anything, because they're stray dogs. They don't have jobs. They don't have a family necessarily. No one to, no one to make appointments with. A lot of times Zeytin would sleep until like 5 p.m. and we just wait and wait and wait. And then suddenly she'd wake up, full of energy, and she'd dash off to whatever interested her. And then we'd be running and running and running. So that was kind of like the process of filming with dogs, which, I loved.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, congratulations. I hope there are more films like this to bring up awareness when it comes to animals, and make you, like you said, question, are we handling it right,
Yeah, totally. Like, what is your city doing, and why is it that we don't tolerate any dogs on our streets? Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and good luck. And I'm sure people are going to feel the same as I did. Very heartwarming, and at the same time, kind of heartbreaking.
Thank you so much, Nancy.
You're welcome.